Hello, welcome to the Long Island Weather Report. Sorry, a little late, partially because of nice bus, partially because of some other stuff I had to do. But anyway, you can see here that, some snow tonight. Our first flakes of the season. I took a video of it. It was mixed with rain, but it started in around a little after 8 o'clock and came in by bursts and stuff. So let's take a look at the current radar right now. You'll see that depending on where you are on Long Island, you're getting a little bit of snow toward the North Shore. Out in Suffolk, rain. There's some heavy rain. So this might be ice pellets in here. That's possible with that red reflection there. But you can see exactly what's happened. Just as we expected, the rain would develop over Long Island. Heavier out east, lighter on the west part of it, and snow mixing with that rain over at least the northern half of Nassau, though it's probably going to transition over to mostly rain probably. Let's go look at our current conditions. And we have a wind advisory, obviously, for tomorrow, though already it's kind of windy out there. It was a really raw, very unpleasant evening to be outside. Cold, you got that wet snow and rain. Gust up to 40 at Jones Beach already, gusting to 25 at Islip, southwest wind. So it's an idea of the strength. Light rain being reported at Islip right now. But it's an idea, the strength of this the clipper, which is, it's really kind of hard to call it a clipper because it's kind of strong. It's kind of on the strong side. Clippers usually tend to be a little on the weaker side. A little warmer in Jersey, 43. Wind gust over there to 28. So we'll go over our highs and lows for the day. So let's get that here. And you see we got up into the mid-40s today, a little bit warmer. Still below normal. Mid-40s on Long Island. Central Park was still 41. Jersey, 43, so fairly uniform with the mid-40s. And let's see if we got any radiation or cooling last night. And, yeah, it got pretty chilly last night, down to 21 at Islip, 16 at West Hampton, 31 at Central Park. So it was a pretty chilly night last night. Mid-20s, we did have the light winds and the relatively clear skies. So mid-20s in central and northern Jersey there. But, yeah, we got low 20s, so it got pretty cold. And I'm sure Jersey also. Miller Air Park beat us. They got down to 14 in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. So, yeah, pretty chilly for sure. Let's go look at our Islip climatological data. And for today, we had it's saying high of 42 and a low of 21. The high was 6 degrees below normal. The low of 21 at Islip, 12 degrees below normal, putting us 8 degrees below normal for the day. And we can also look at Central Park, high of 40 and a low of 30. And that is 7 degrees below normal for the day. And we're going to try once again to, we're going to just go over the briefing here for our storm in a minute, but we're going to try once again to see if we can get the official monthly climate. We'll try, this is going to be the last time I'm going to try here at this point because it's getting absolutely ridiculous. And I'm wondering maybe there's something going on. Let's try the monthly weather summary. Let's see if it finally works. Nope. I don't know what's going on. Hold on a sec. I've got one other idea that might be the issue. I'm going to try this. Open in incognito. Let's see if this will work. Let's see if we can just do it this way. Incognito window. Let's see if it was something with my computer. Just to rule it out and see if that's what's going on. Probably not, but we'll see. Yeah, no, it's definitely not my computer, so whatever. Well, I don't know when they're ever going to get around to it at Upton. Who knows? But anyway, we'll take a look at the current radar. You can see this is the radar here that we have. Current radar. You can see that heavier precipitation actually over eastern Long Island. I'm wondering if we have reports of heavier precipitation. Surely. It's just saying light rain. But there could be some sleet mixed in. Perhaps that's why we're seeing those echoes. But yeah, they have a briefing on what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow, so we'll go over it with you. Strong winds with gusts up to 50 expected, so that's why we have the wind advisory Thursday through much of Thursday evening. Snow develops across the interior late this evening with up to an inch or two in the higher elevations. The main hazard for us is going to be the wind gusts to 50 miles an hour. There could be isolated power outages and also bring in those holiday decorations as well. And this is their wind gust potential map, which has gusts possibly getting close to 50 miles an hour. Snowfall, not going to be much of an issue for our area, but up to the north, there could be some snowfall. Again, the snow we're getting now is not sticking in. It's going to be changing over to rain. Looking at the broader picture here on our map, you can see off to the west we have this clipper is going to be pretty strong and bring in some actually blizzard warnings for some of the mountains in the Appalachians here, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings for that area. We also see lake effect and also a blizzard warning actually for Erie now issued as well. So interesting that they have a blizzard warning until 1 a.m. on Saturday, and there's going to be a lot more lake effect snow that they're going to have to deal with in this whole area. So you got lake effect snow warnings in effect for that area. So definitely this is an energetic storm system. Looking at the satellite right now, you can see here that we have plenty of clouds, obviously. We had sun in the morning, and then the clouds kind of thickened. And then let's go over here, and you can see, again, there's the clipper. You can see it diving down right there. There's your clipper. And let's see if we can run this a little bit longer here. Maybe I'd like to get a little bit of a daytime picture of it, just as so we can take a look. This will take a little bit of time to load here, but you can see the clipper here coming down here. So this is the clipper coming down. There's another system on the south. We're not going to have to worry about this system here, but this clipper is going to be coming down and ushering some pretty cold air, colder than the last time. Looking at the weather map here, you'll see look at all those isobars around it too. Weather Prediction Center, that's what I wanted to do first. So you can see there's the clipper right there. Surface analysis, you can see it's pretty deep, and that's a very energetic clipper, so that's going to cause wind and pressure gradients for tomorrow. You'll see here that we go to this goes back. Okay, I'd like to go to the first. All right, well, you can see here the low. It's a very intense low there. So let's go to the models now and to talk about this clipper that's going to be coming in. So you'll see here this clipper is going to dive down. This is the GFS here. I'm going to switch this instead of precip rate. I'm going to switch this to the radar one. All right, so you can see what's going to happen here on the GFS, and you can see the precipitation could get heavier overnight. You can see this clipper is definitely tapping into some moisture off the ocean. That's going to enhance some of the rainfall over Long Island, and then that's just like almost sort of like the little warm front part of it, but the Arctic front part of it is going to be moving through in the morning, and you can see it's just showing a line. That might be a squall line that may have to be watched in the morning, perhaps a snow squall line. A very deep storm for a clipper. And then that moves, as we get into Thursday now, we're on the back side of it, and you can see how those isobars are bunching up, and that's going to put the squeeze play in with the wind that we have here. So you can see those isobars just getting bunched up, and that's a big squeeze play, pressure gradient, and that means a lot of wind as we head into tomorrow and Friday. You can see the wind backs off a little bit, but it's still going to be breezy. The center of the high, like the last time, does not go over us. It goes over the southeast, or interior southeast, or whatever, and that may have negative implications as far as trying to get a clear sky. We'll have to look into all of that. So let's first go and look at the HRRR model now that we have all the short-range models that we have to look at this thing. And you can see, again, mainly light, but it could be steady and heavier, especially further east. And then that second batch comes through in the morning. HRRR not showing a snow squall, but it's possible. And then, there could still be some instability snow squalls in the afternoon, too, possibly setting up as well. It looks like it's showing something over Connecticut. So that's always possible in the afternoon. And then as we get toward later in the afternoon, the activity should die down, but the wind is not. Look at how close those isobars are. And interesting that you're going to see rain squalls setting up offshore because of the difference in temperature between the 50-degree water and the air temperature, which will be in the 20s at that time. And then you can see the wind's still going to be with us on Friday. The isobars let off a little bit. You can see also lake effect snow machines really starting to get going as well. So if we look at the HRRR total accumulated precip here, you'll see, again, the heavier amounts tend to be over Suffolk County, so more than a half an inch of rain. But for us in Nassau County, New Jersey, it's not really showing much precipitation falling at all. This is according to the HRRR. Snowfall, not even going to show that because that doesn't, I mean, I could, I guess, for the lakes to show that. But you can see it's showing something. It's showing maybe a little bit of snow on the north shore of Nassau County, maybe a coating. It's possible we might see a little enough to whiten the ground, which would be nice. And then as we get into Thursday, and Friday, the lake effect machine starts cranking up state. Though the fetch is not going to be as long because it's going to be more of a northwesterly fetch, so hopefully it won't be as bad as the one last week. So let's look at our dew points and wind flow as we head in. This will kind of show the Arctic front for you. So you can see the gusty winds here, all right, that we have. And here's the Arctic front. This kind of shows it actually coming through a little more toward late morning than it's actually going to come through. And then the dew points and the temperatures are going to drop. But you can see the core of the dry air actually seems to dive down to our south first. And here we go with northwest, and then the winds obviously howling from the west tomorrow. Look at all those barbs there. And then for Friday, we get a little more closer to the core of this air mass. The winds are still going to be cranking, but not quite as much. But there's still going to be some pretty significant wind chills to talk about here. And again, if I push this off to the eastern U.S. view, you could see again where the core of this air mass is going. Again, it's going a little more to the south, and then it kind of moves a little more toward us. Lately, we've been seeing this where the core actually goes further to the south. So look at the temperatures on this, just to show you the coldness of the air here that we have. As we head into tomorrow, you can see the cold air is just diving down right there. And you can see for tomorrow, it'll be colder in places like Kentucky and West Virginia than it will be here. And for Friday, it kind of pulls out pretty quickly, though. So you can see it's not really going to stick around for that long, this plunge. You mainly got Thursday and Friday, and then by the weekend it starts moderating. So looking at our temperatures for tomorrow, you can see here we're going to mainly be in the mid 30s tonight, so it's not really going to get that warm. And then tomorrow we'll probably be starting off in the mid to upper 30s, and then during the afternoon temperatures drop through the 30s, below freezing by 6 o'clock, and then we go into the 20s. Though there aren't going to be any radiational cooling with that wind, so oddly enough, it'll probably be warmer in the Pine Barrens than it was the past couple of nights. And then for Friday, we're going to struggle now. HRRR giving us a hard time to get even above freezing. So Friday is going to be very, very cold, for sure. It's definitely going to be the coldest day we've had in a while. At least this is according to the HRRR model. I want to look at some of the other models when it comes to the precipitation, so we're going to go to that. So here's the NAM, and again showing that rain. You can see that line here, some dark blue over, so there could be some bursts of snow on the North Shore perhaps. The higher parts of the North Shore could see a coating. I wouldn't rule that out. And here comes the next batch with the actual Arctic front, and you can see it actually showing a snow squall possible developing right around 8 o'clock or so, right around New York City into Connecticut. Could be a snow squall, though it could be mixed with rain. And then in the afternoon, it's not really showing any other activity developing behind it. But you can see those isobars remaining very, very tight, which means a lot of wind behind this. So we'll go to the GFS next. Before I get out of this, let's just look at the total accumulated precip as far as rainfall for eastern Long Island. Similar deal to the HRRR. The eastern part of Suffolk County gets more rain, over a half an inch. Maybe some areas on the Forks get an inch. But into Nassau, you're looking at probably around a quarter of an inch. And then Jersey, even less than that. So let's now go to the GFS. Also similar look to that on the GFS. Let's go to the dew points and wind flow on this. So you can take a look again at the Arctic front coming through here. Here it comes. And you can see here, as we get into Friday, that's when we get into the core of that Arctic air, because you notice the dew points drop now to the single digits. Again, the driest air seems to go over the southeast, interior southeast. And then as we get into Saturday, you can see the winds already become a little more westerly. So obviously we'll talk about the weekend more, but you'll see that there will be a moderate. I think I cover the weekend more as we get toward Friday. But let's go look at the skies, and actually let's just look at some soundings. Obviously tomorrow we'll probably have a decent amount of clouds around. Yeah, they're touching. Now, I'm just gonna click in this area. Yeah, see, I wish I was over there. Other than that, that's where you're gonna get the nice clear skies over there, West Virginia and Georgia and those areas. They have nice clear skies. We just can't seem to. This is tomorrow, obviously, but let's look at Friday. Hopefully Friday looks a little bit better. Hopefully, I only get 12 and 18Z for the GFS, but we'll click over Jersey and see. All right, looks a little better though. I still see those two kind of. You still see that low-level moisture there. That's courtesy of the lakes that do that. All right, let's look at Long Island. Yeah, so you still see that a little bit there. So we'll have a little more idea on that as we have some more short-range models to look at. I guess the HRRR is not going to give us a sounding that far out for Friday. And 12Z, you can look at 12Z too for Friday. Yeah, see, they're kind of close together. That's the problem. Meanwhile, if you go over here, down in West Virginia, yeah, look at how nice far apart they are. So that's unique. It's all because of the damn flow off the lakes that screws us up. Also, the core of the air is kind of going a little more to the southeast. So if you're looking at looking for clear skies, yeah, definitely. If you're in Kentucky tomorrow, you'll probably have a nice. Well, it's showing them kind of close together too over there. What about over here in this area? I'm just kind of curious. I'm just messing around. Yeah, it's actually showing a lot of clouds over there, that area. It's important to look at this instead, not always look at the cloud graph. Now for Friday, again, if we go over, well, it is touching over there. It looks like there's some mid-level clouds over there. Kind of interesting to look at this. So, yeah, it's probably shallow. That may be what the issue is. I don't know, but I know. I remember growing up, we get these cold air masses. I'd always have nice deep blue skies. Now it's like, I don't know. It's harder to get that for whatever reason. And I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, let's get closer to our area. We still got to talk about the wind, all right? But first, we'll go and look at the cloud output here on the GFS. And if we look at the cloud output for tomorrow, obviously it's going to be clouds around tomorrow, more sun toward the afternoon. Could be some pretty clouds, though, hopefully, with maybe some Virgo. And then for Friday, it's showing more clouds over Long Island, but a little less over Jersey. We'll have to see about that. And as you get into Saturday, yeah, we have a lot more clouds for the weekend with that warm air advection, according to the GFS anyway. If we were to click on Saturday, you'll see you're probably going to have more of the high level. Yeah, it actually has us completely overcast, this particular model here, which sucks. So this is the GFS. Let's go to the RGM next. Obviously, we have trouble getting the 18Z RGM, so we can look at this instead. Obviously, going into tomorrow, you're starting off with clouds, and then as we get toward the afternoon, there may be some breaks, sunshine. And then as we get into Friday, RGM is showing, again, a mostly sunny sky. And maybe some of the lake effect clouds make it more to Long Island. It all depends, the wind direction. I mean, we don't get the snow, but we get the clouds from the lake effect from that. And that's what screws us up. Meanwhile, if you're down here, obviously perfectly clear skies down. If you're towards the mid-Atlantic, Virginia, you're off the fetch of those lakes. For Friday, I mean, yeah, it's as far as we got. And as far as Saturday goes, it's showing Saturday being clear. So we'll see. Hopefully this model is correct. And we haven't had a really good clear day. With all this cold air, we haven't had one really good. It's funny, when we had that mild pattern with the lack of rain and the drought, we had so many nice deep blue sky days. Now we can't even get one. So it's really annoying. Anyway, all right, let's talk about the wind. We'll go to Event to Sky, right? Because I like this site better. It helps visualize the wind. So wind gusts tonight. We're already seeing 31 mile an hour gusts, but it's all about tomorrow. That's when we're going to have the wind advisory. And you can see here, gusts still close to 40 already, even 2 a.m., 5 a.m. You can see. But then I'm going to try to see if we can find the actual Arctic front on here, if we can. It's around 7 or 8 o'clock. It's going to move through. And you can see when that Arctic front moves through, if there's a squall with it, yeah, you can see some pretty strong wind gusts with that, 43. But then we have the pressure gradient that comes through later on in the day that develops, and you'll see here these gusts are a little on the lower side, 43. I'm thinking it's going to be stronger than this. This is using the HRRR model. I would like to switch this over to a different model. Well, we'll look at the windy.com. Yeah, it doesn't look all that impressive with these wind gusts here. considering. Which is why we're going to have to use the windy.com. I think this is under none. But you see by Friday, there's definitely less in the way of wind. Let's go look at the windy.com model. I think this site's better. This uses the European model. So we'll go with this. Let's see, move this over to when that Arctic front passes, which is around 7. I'll change this to wind gusts. All right, let's see what we got here. So this is wind gust 7 a.m., 32. I'm just curious if there's going to be any with the CC, how it's getting stronger now. You see how look at what happens by 3, 4 o'clock. Yeah, 43 miles an hour. Yep, 49 miles an hour, even worse in Jersey. So definitely could be some power outages. And again, they're definitely those Christmas decorations, definitely want to take them down. By 7 o'clock, it drops off a little bit to 34. Jersey, though, gusting to 35. So still dealing with these windy conditions. It backs off a little bit as we head into. I like using this site because it really helps visualize the wind better. 34 versus tidbits. 2 o'clock. I mean, the best way in tidbits is look at the isobars, but if I want to visualize the wind like this, see gusts on Friday up to 30. So Friday's still going to be windy, but Thursday is going to be wind advisory windy. But I wonder if this would give us the wind chill, because that's what I'm kind of curious about. If this could give us the wind chill, because that temperature is going to drop. Well, it doesn't give us wind chill. I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't. I am surprised. You'd think it would give us wind chill, but it doesn't. But I'm sure that wind chill is going to be very, very, very cold with that wind. It's going to feel real cold with that wind, for sure. Let's go back to tidbits for a minute. I'm just going to visualize the temperatures on here for a moment. So and again, I have to go back to the 18Z run here, the GFS. You can see the temperatures dropping, obviously. See, Friday, that's going to be the really cold day. We're going to only be in the mid-30s. But I want to look at, this doesn't obviously give wind chill. I do want to look at one more model here. HDRPS. I knew we were having trouble getting this to initialize. Let's try the 12Z run. Just to show if there's any chance of snow squalls tomorrow. See if any models are really showing any. Yeah, a little bit, but sometimes it's really hard to model it. But obviously there are areas to our north and west, well to our north and west, in western New York and Pennsylvania are going to get snow squalls out of this. So it will have to be watched. If you're out in the morning, you're just going to have to pay attention to what's going on around you, because there is the chance that we might see snow squalls. Let's just run this NAM thing one more time. You can see right around, you can see how it kind of ramps up, but it has it as rain over Long Island. The temperatures may just not be cold enough. But we'll have to see what happens. There's always the chance. It's definitely going to be, again, those isobars. Look at how tight they are. That's a lot of wind right there. It's a very tight pressure gradient. So it's going to be really blustery and very windy out there tomorrow. So that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather report. We have a stormy day on tap tomorrow. It will be interesting for sure. And then hopefully maybe by Friday we can have, it'll still be breezy, but hopefully we can have some nice blue skies. I really hope we get some nice blue skies, because the long range, unfortunately, which I'm not going to talk about now, but I'll talk about it on Sunday, but unfortunately next week looks pretty crappy. So that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather report. Have a good night.